first play will be made.
Yeah.
Both teams kind of have somewhat similar comps in a lot of ways. You know, obviously you have a playmaking support who's going to be able to move around the map. You have two mid laners with the Realm Warp as well as the Weaver's Wall who can be able to move around the map, and they are going to be looking for those big fights.
Ooh, Lions with a nice two-man taunt coming in. Vulcan's your first target. Magical Journey through the wall, getting away for now. Surdy trying to hunt him down, but it's first blood over to Surdy's Vayne. Make it a double as he's getting paid here in this top side 3v3. It's DSG coming out on top. Tactical and Vulcan down, and Surdy's Vayne is off to a beautiful start.
And that was a really good start to the fight there from Lions, who we were just being a little bit critical of, saying, you know, that he was one of the ones who had been struggling. Blabber is back here, though, but Vayne has the move. Nice for you, because you have a soy allergy, and it's harder when you're traveling to find food you can eat.
True. We are going to hit up the good old American fast food chains. That will be the play. As Disguised is up 1,000 gold. The second Drake of the game is alive. C9 controlled both neutrals so far with that early Drake take into the Grubs after they lost the fight in the top side. So now they want to continue stacking those neutrals, as Surdy has completed his experimental Hex, played very strong here in the Vayne, but again, no TP to try to join the fight, as the Chemtech is secured by the C9 side, but now Blabber's going to pay the price. Call Me takes the kill on that one, so Objective traded for a single death, as DSG kills the enemy jungler after he secures the dragon.
Yeah, I think C9 will be pretty happy with that at the end of the day, unless DSG are able to push in and get something else with this, but it doesn't really look like that's going to happen. Maybe you get a plate mid, but one kill for that dragon, going to be feeling nice. And
the game wasn't really playable for DSG after the Herald in game number 1. So now in game number 2, it's DSG with the nearly 2,000 gold lead. Remember, it was C9 with about 1.3, 1.4 lead before the Herald in the previous game. As now bottom side, it's a DSG play going in after Thanatos. Kryra uses the Call the Pack to drop any Turbid aggro. They got Lions there with the Stand United. They set it up easy peasy for Surdy to get kill number 3. And they know that C9's going to go after that Rift Herald. They're saying, fine, take it, whatever. We're going to kill your top laner and get the turret bottom.
Exactly. I mean, the Rift Herald is the potential of killing a tower or getting plates.
He's coming back, and it's still Armeo that you're jungling against instead of Inspired for the first week. But that's all tomorrow. Right now, we still got the rest of this one to play as Blabber goes in and finds the Impale on the Lions, who has to taunt and then flash over the wall trying to get himself away. Meanwhile, Vulcan, nice use of the ulti there to lock up Sajed, who's going to be protected by that Stand United, but it will not protect enough. The shutdown credit goes to Tactical. Call Me tries to find something on the backside of the fight here from the right angle, as Blabber is low, but Surdy has finally joined the fight. Goes into the final hour, but he's trapped in Rune Prison. Surdy down to 20% HP. DSG's got to be careful. Thanatos here with a re-engage. Shutdown on Call Me. It happens again and 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 again, no matter how many leads DSG builds. When it comes time to clutch the fight, they can't find what they need.
Yeah, C9 started out that fight well. They take down Sajed, and he got no value really with the Mega Inferno Bomb. Just kind of dropped it on his head in celebration there at the end. It all started out with Blabber finding the Impale here onto the Shen. He gets pulled in. Yeah, he flashes out, but he is completely out of the fight. And at the same time, Sajed gets tagged there. And even with the Stand United, he's got no way out of that. Didn't have his flash available. Just kind of walked up bold as you like, and Vulcan caught him. And that is such a difference maker. And then look at Surdy going in. Yeah, great. You have all this ability to outplay until you get hit by the Rune Prison, and he loses all of his health. About 80% of his health is gone during that Rune Prison, instantly pushed back. So as strong as Surdy is, there's not really any opportunity for him to do anything in that fight because there's no one to create space, because Lions was out of it instantly. Sajed was already dead before he arrived. So there's not really any ability for him to outplay.
And now there's your Cosmic Binding into the wall. Surdy pops final hour defensively, but Blabber is still on the hunt. The Impale lands. Vulcan gets the kill. Surdy is dead. Tempered Fate locks up Kryra, and they want to make it a 2-0, but Kryra with the flash stays alive. That disguised gold lead, 2.5, 3,000 gold lead that we saw just a couple of minutes ago is gone. As the tier 1 turret falls, DSG's lead shrinks down to 500. And for this team that is as no fight will occur, C9 are just going to exfiltrate this one, and now we are once again back to a point of permanent pressure here for DSG, as every dragon afterwards is going to demand an answer. Realm Warp is used. It's a PvE Realm Warp! It's a PvE realm warp. That's what we said we wanted to see. Use it to get back to lane. Use it to go to the Baron. Use it to reposition your minions. Just make sure that realm warp is targeted towards something that the game controls. And right now, C9 controls the Baron. They're going to get this one for free. And oh man, we got to spend the first almost 20 minutes of gameplay talking about how it was looking better for Disguised, but we are right back to a spot where C9 controls the Rift.
Yeah, we absolutely are. I mean, the gold is still dead even, but it is C9 on Soul Point. It is C9 with 3 Grubs and Baron, so they will have push. And now pressure is on Surdy. I mean, he has been in a good spot for a long time, but I mean, I don't even really think it's his fault. He just hasn't really been able to do anything in these fights because the fights have kind of been over by the time he showed up, right? You know, that mid lane fight, Lions is already out of it, Sajed is dead by the time he shows up. That Dragon fight, they're just completely chunked out before he even arrives.
I mean, that's what I was saying earlier, though. This is kind of the test that you were giving them back in game number 1 is, yeah, you can get leads, but the inexperience, the lack of coordination puts them in a spot where it's hard to turn those leads into wins. And I said, I've got to see how they play around Surdy. This is your point of pressure. It's everyone's responsibility to play through the point of strength, and Disguised have not successfully done it.
I mean, look how much damage Tactical has gotten done. He has been the difference maker. He's landing so much poke before a lot of these fights, and you know, even Surdy beating on that Renekton all lane long is not close to the amount of damage that Tactical has done on this Ezreal. They're going to go for him, though.
Yeah, they want to try to dive in here with Kryra. Hound's Pursuit, yeah, he casts it, but Tactical's still at 75% HP, even through that ulti from the Naafiri, and now that's a massive tool for the team fights that Kryra doesn't have available. Red Bull Baron power play still active for another minute and a half for C9. They know there's no Naafiri ulti, so they're just going to keep the pressure mounting. Tactical is left over in the mid lane to make sure that they're putting that pressure on at least 2 separate points, while everyone else groups top around the tier 2. Blabber going to take a ton of damage here, though. Stunned back into the wall, tries to maybe turn it around. That looked a little silly, as he wanted to flash, maybe find an Ishtal's impact angle, but he will not get it. Loki takes the Realm Warp, gets himself away. DSG aren't going to get any more up here. Meanwhile, C9 trade it for the tier 1 turret in the bottom lane, as Thanatos has pushed up and claimed that one. Tactical still pushing back over in mid with Vulcan beside him. Kryra jumps forward yet again, but remember, the Hound's Pursuit is on cooldown from earlier, so no chance to really chase after Vulcan or Tactical.
Yeah, good pick there on Blabber. I'm not really sure what he was thinking with the flash, and he goes for the flash, Ishtal's impact. Maybe he was trying to catch someone, but Sajed is going to be the one caught.
Yeah, do they have any follow-up to do something meaningful? Yep. Yeah, they sure do. Tactical just jumps in and blows Sajed away, as now Tactical, ooh, nice. He was trying to use his teleport for the fast exit, but Surdy just pushes him with the Condemn, cancels the channel on the Summoner spell. Kryra jumps in and grabs an additional kill here, this time on a Vulcan, as Thanatos has to slice over the wall trying to stay alive. Flash away as the Condemn bolt is in the air, means he clears the terrain first as the Condemn chases him, and then further creates distance between Thanatos and his pursuers. So he will live, but nice moves from Disguise, getting something back, halting the C9 onslaught even after Sajed dies.
Yeah, Sajed, you know, on the Ziggs, it's normally considered a very safe champion, but he has been struggling a bit and didn't think he could get dove. But even through the Stand United, he is just taken out, and then Tactical looks for that TP exit, but does get hit by the Condemn. I thought for a moment there, though, that it might actually be an angle out as he shifted over the wall. But at the end of the day, DSG do get a couple kills and get the flash off Renekton.
It looks troll.
Oh, thank you.
Looks troll, but not the worst result. Yeah. We got Vayne flash.
Yeah, it's fine.
It looks troll. Oh. Okay, it looks troll, but it's not the worst.
Yeah, at the end of the day, I mean, you did get Vayne flash. You did get 1 kill for 2. So I think it's not the worst, but they did lose the flash, obviously, off of Thanatos as well. And so there is definitely a cost to it. But you could hear, I think that was probably Loki's voice with the, yeah, sounded very unconvinced by,
like, I don't know,
by the not the worst result.
That kind of wasn't great, man. All right, so although the gold is now even, this brings even more spotlight onto the objective state of the game. C9 have been running the show with the Herald, with the Grubs. 3 out of 4 Drakes secured so far, and it's 20 seconds until the Soul spawns. You already mentioned how Thanatos loves that on the Renekton. It's so powerful for so many of their champions. Move speed only becomes that much more effective when your champion is limited in mobility in their kit. So for somebody like Ryze who just runs at you, that's always going to feel really good. DSG on the approach now as C9 are staying grouped up as a unit. Loki gets taunt flash. That might be Disguised opportunity. Loki with the flash back into the Dragon Pit, staying alive for now, but Blabber is already dead. Loki's about to follow. Tactical goes over the wall, but Kryra's ready to follow him. 3 kills, DSG. Thanatos in the middle of everybody, but what the hell is one crocodile gonna do? It's DSG! DSG clutching up when they need to and slamming the Dragon Soul fight.
And finally, DSG are able to be on the front foot. They're creating the chaos. They are the ones pushing forward here and making space as they go in. And look at this here from Surdy. Comes in on the side, pumping damage into Blabber. Taunt Flash comes out from Lions there onto Loki, even with the double ult from Vulcan onto the backline. It just didn't matter because Surdy was completely untouched. They created so much chaos. He was able to find that time to free hit. Lions making space, Nefiri flying into the backline, making space, and you can see I Will Dominate not too happy about how that fight went. And look at that Chihuahua. He's looking angry.
He is downright feral in that one, DSG. And this is what it looks like when you play around that point of power. When you start the fight off with Vayne ready to pop off, Surdy hitting 6,817 damage in the previous fight. The highest damage on the enemy team, just ever so slightly over half of that from Thanatos on the Renekton. So now Sajed has to sidestep the Tempered Fate, stays alive for the moment, does not get caught by the Cosmic Binding, creates enough time to allow DSG reinforcements to arrive. Stand United coming in from Lions, as now Loki's going to be your target once more. Surdy on the chase down, grabbing kill number 1, make it number 2. Both solo laners out of the way. And here we go, 50-second death timers as DSG set their sights on the Baron.
Yeah, that's Baron o'clock, and credit to Sajed. Held his nerve there, didn't even flash. Sidestepped 2 abilities that would have meant his death for sure, and they were near sidesteps in those moments. And now Call Me and Lion just gonna create that space. They just need to keep Blabber away from that Baron, and it is theirs.
All right, Baron, should be no way for C9 in here. Baron secured by DSG, 6,000 gold lead for DSG. They had a solid early game. They fumbled the mid game, but they've clawed their way back, fighting around Surdy, fighting around this Vayne.
Now, I'm actually shocked he didn't flash here. Just barely got out. That is crazy. And then the sidestep on the binding as well. If either of those hit him, he is just dead. But he holds his nerve, holds onto the flash, and then Surdy just gets the early Stand United, gives him the confidence to fly in. They full send it, and that ult from Sajed got so much work done onto the C9 solo laners. Still a chance for C9 if they can find that perfect play, if they can find that perfect engage that they will be looking for here. And Tactical still trying to play very aggressive because there's very little CC on the DSG side. It is just Taunt and Condemn. That's basically it. And Blabber looking for a pick.
Yeah, Blabber has the pull here onto Sajed with a True Shot Barrage flying through. Sajed gets over the wall, but he is shut down by the Skarner. Blabber ends up taking the kill credit. Thanatos in the middle of everybody, eating a lot of damage from Surdy's auto attacks. He goes into Resurrection here from the Guardian Angel as Tempered Fate does not find a target. Thanatos coming back to life, and C9's making sure to keep him protected. Now Lions and Kryra both getting away off to the left. So DSG, they do lose a man, but they do not suffer an entire team wipe. And he goes in, dives after Vulcan and Blabber, who get away with the magical journey. So no final hour available for Surdy, but Tactical, Blabber, and Vulcan all chunked by about half HP. So C9 has to back away, yield control over the topside river to DSG, but there's no Weaver's Wall, there's no final hour on the DSG side. If they try to force a Baron fight, they will not have those tools for the big showdown. As Thanatos does have to be careful yet again, trying to get away from Kryra and Call Me. Thanatos in some serious danger, but the kill onto Lions the other way means a 1-for-1. Now Blabber gets pushed back by the seismic shove. Call Me and Kryra got to be a little bit careful here. They are on the other side of C9 as Sajed tries to step forward, throw out a couple of mines. Mega Inferno Bomb does get Vulcan incredibly low on HP. Tactical trying to survive and fight back against Kryra. It does knock off his Guardian Angel while Loki kills Call Me. Now they're going to camp the body of Kryra. They need a little bit more damage to take him down, and Blabber can't quite find it. Kryra getting away for now. It's 3 dead on the DSG side as Sajed and Call Me, both mages, are now out of the picture. C9 has everybody except for Thanatos. A TP coming in now as they are ready to reposition their Ezreal back into this scrap. Kryra's still hanging around. Blabber and Loki at low HP. Kryra may not be respecting the fact that Tactical can be here, and Tactical looking after him now, but the TP's ready to come in as Lions joins Kryra here with the Stand United. Surdy has also showed up. Tactical trying to get himself away now as Blabber and Loki secure the Baron. True Shot Barrage fired off will not hit a target. What an extended scuffle there.
Yeah, and Loki did such a good job in that fight, was able to get a lot of work done as Kryra got into the backline. Him and Call Me were kind of this two-man hit squad, but it's so problematic they don't have final hour because Vayne can never really enter the fight. So you have on the bottom side of your screen Kryra and Call Me chasing down, killing off Thanatos at the same time. Lions gets taken out, but look at Surdy. He's down about 30% HP. Surdy can never really enter. So Sajed walks up. You can see Kryra decides he's going to go in and full send it onto this backline. We're going back to live.
Okay. Blabber does get shoved here. Nice moves from Call Me and the rest of DSG. They've already found the kill onto the C9 jungler, but now
Surdy.
Vulcan is just being peppered with bolts by Surdy. He goes forward looking for a little bit more. The shutdown on Surdy comes in from Tactical as Thanatos and Tactical are trying to fight back. DSG scrambling. The Dragon still at full HP. Health bars melting, but they're mostly C9. It's only Tactical and Thanatos left alive. Surdy the only death on DSG, but considering everyone else is so low, DSG did have to peel back, play it a little safe, but it looks like Kryra and Sajed should be able to take the Drake.
Yeah, they should be able to. I don't know why Kryra's not hitting this, though. 4.8k, but Tactical's up 5k, and he is ridiculously strong at this point in the game. Thanatos has his GA ready, their Zhonya's ready, so there's a lot of tools here. This next fight is going to be so explosive.
I always laugh so much at Shojin Endless Hunger Ezreal. Hold on now, Blabber gets hit with a shove yet again. Kryra diving in after Tactical, has to shift out of the way of the Mega Inferno Bomb as Blabber barely survives with 200 HP left. Now Lions could be soaking some damage as Loki's nearly killed off by Surdy. One more bolt in the air, finds him, Surdy's got the kill. Tactical goes over the wall and stays alive for now as Kryra wants to chase, but he won't quite be able to finish the job. Thanatos and Vulcan trying to scatter and get themselves away as DSG looks for even more. Surdy might be dead, but he's traded for Loki. Can't believe that is only a 1-for-1 after everything settles. Vulcan's still trying to get away. He's got the dead man's plate. Lions wants to stop him, gets the taunt. Vulcan immediately ready with the self-Mikhails, just walks away from it. All right, not enough of a convincing result one way or the other for either side to head to Baron, and everybody goes back to their corners.
I low-key wonder if Surdy's QSS was on the wrong keybind because his QSS was very late. And it came in very late there. And he just dies, and Tactical with some heroics takes him out with that final Q here and survive with all his lifesteal. Tactical is just playing insane.
Well, now he's got to do it again. Thanatos nearly killed off here with the Baron Pit, is hit with the Satchel, forced into the Resurrection here with Guardian Angel. No real value here out of the Cosmic Binding just yet. Lions in the middle of everybody. Mega Inferno Bomb over the top, and Sajed's got the first kill. Kryra nearly falls. He at least loses Guardian Angel. But now C9's backing away again. Blabber gonna get shot down again. DSG are doing it. The front line of C9 is gone, and the Baron belongs to Disguise. They're gonna take their reset and head straight to the Elder.
Exactly. The Baron is not the problem. The Elder is the issue here with so much damage this late in the game. That is gonna be very, very tough, and Tactical is getting about as much done as you could possibly ask. Proxid GA, he's kiting out. He is playing like a madman in these fights, but Blabber and Thanatos do fall down. It's a 5v3, and C9, I feel like they just got to try to back it up and delay as much as they possibly can. Hope that you can live through this double super buff. Maybe somehow, some way, go for the wave clear, but they do not have the best wave clear, and
No.
DSG has everything they need to finally go for their first game win.
This is looking good for Disguise, but it's got to be quick, it's got to be clean, it's got to be precise. You've got 2 minutes of having both super buffs active at the same time. You need to end the game now as C9 has to dig in and prepare to defend. You can see Loki and Tactical making their recalls. Now's the time to buy elixirs. Now's the time to spend your money. It's all going to come down to can DSG end it right here. First inhibitor going to fall right down there in bottom lane. Mid inhibitor's already exposed from earlier. Remember that. Mega Inferno Bomb flying out. It's dodged, but Kryra already gets the kill. That's the Fed Ezreal. Thanatos in the middle of everyone, trying to put the pressure on, but Sajed's still going to stay alive as Loki is executed by the Elder Dragon. Blabber gets flipped back again, and DSG, it might have took 3 weeks, but they are going to find their first game win against C9 and take us to game 3.
Nicely done by DSG. Getting it across the finish line was not an easy game, was not smooth sailing. Felt like C9 had taken back control, but DSG showing up when it mattered most, and they get their first game win. Lounge, break it down.
We always get 3 games in these C9 series, but this was a story of Surdy and DSG. here with the Vayne pick.
Yeah.
I mean, a little bit disrespectful having Renekton with Vayne not being banned, but all hail the toast Vayne.
The toast.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, maybe I should give this one some like a crossbow
Vayne
color.
Not gonna lie, when you initially did
I should
that,
give
I
this
thought
bread
you
some-
were drawing a butt.
What? You have no faith in me?
I was looking over and I was like, what?
I mean, toast is really
What
just.
is going on?
I mean, let's look at Surdy though. It was from the early game that he
Yeah.
started taking over here.